Hey, it's Stokely from Sauce on Delay. Um, I was reading an article recently, and the article was in Essence magazine, and it was published all the way back in 2012, and it made mention. It posed the question whether cystic fibrosis is caused by hair relaxers, um, because they did a study, and if I recall correctly, which I probably don't, it was shown that there was something to the effect of a 12% increase in cystic fibrosis among women who use relaxers. So it was some number in the 20% range, between 12 and 22%. I don't recall exactly the number, so don't quote me on it. But there was definitely a correlation because there was an increase, right? So, that's what that's and people who work in the more industrial cosmetics industry, they use ingredients that are more cost effective, and potentially they're not going to use anything I would think that is intentionally harmful. But sometimes they don't have um, an every case basis information. And like I said, when it comes to cosmetics, the FDA doesn't regulate it. I'm happy for that, in the sense that I'm able to create a cosmetic product, market it, have it on Amazon, and not have to go through an expensive, rigorous development process that requires extensive testing. I mean, many cosmetics formulators have secondary testing, have hired outside consultants and testing agencies to test the efficacy and the resistance to mold, and all kind of other tests that you can have done. But you probably can't have every test done. You're probably not going to understand every ramification of the product. For instance, some shampoos might give you acne, where you get acne on your back. And some people are allergic to sulfur, and some people are allergic to antiperspirants. And antiperspirants and deodorants are two different things, but I'm not going into that. But some people have allergic reaction to different products, so testing is important. Now, I tested my my product among my friends, my mother, myself, my son, friends, family. I mean, I did at one point. One of my friends did say that he had a reaction, and that's when I added a ingredient called arnica, which is a plant extract. But I eventually, after he told me that, I removed that ingredient, even though I think that it was a great ingredient, and a lot of people use it for pain relief on their joints. They just put the arnica oil on their joints to relieve pain. But he had a reaction at his scalp, and I said, well, okay, I gotta definitely not include this. And the concentration at that point was something to the effect of 2%. So I no longer use that. So I definitely did some testing. Of course, I've been using it, and I've used every batch on myself. I've experimented on myself. And I mean, I got a few reviews from people, and most of them would say that they don't particularly like the scent. So that caused me to remove some of my other ingredients, because it has to be aesthetically pleasing. And I think scent is a very important thing. Myself, I'm very sensitive to scents, and I don't like overpowering scents, and I don't like annoying scents, because it'll throw my whole day off. And I think I spoke previously that essential oils can be used for aromatherapy. So scents can definitely help to modify and assist your mental state. So if someone says the scent is off-putting, then I'm definitely going to identify and relate to that and take it in. And any review that I got, I mostly appreciated negative reviews, but I mostly appreciated negative reviews because that helped me make a better product. So I eliminated patchouli. I had added it because it's known as an aromatherapy, and it's known to be a scent that many people like. But when you combine it with multiple scents, because I already have peppermint, tea tree, lavender, rosemary in there, they don't necessarily make a nice combination. They don't have a pleasing scent profile. So I eliminated the patchouli, and I decreased some other scents. So yeah, I tried to tailor the scent profile. I would still say it's somewhat of an acquired scent, but the scent isn't powerful. After, when you open the container, you smell it, but once you apply it, the scent isn't really present anymore. You don't really notice it anymore. So, but it's still a herbal type of scent, with the hints of rosemary and peppermint, and So where did I start off? What was I saying to begin with? I was saying that I was talking about ingredients and how ingredients can harm people, and I started off talking about hair relaxers. Hair relaxers are high pH, so they're bases, or what do you call a base, or what do you would refer to as alkaline. So a hair relaxer is an alkaline solution. I mean, your hair's pH is acidic. Your hair's pH is something like 4.5, or in the pH of your scalp is something like 5.6, something to that effect. So your body is on the low pH, on the acidic side of the pH scale, and hair relaxers are high pH. They're around, from my recollection, about 9.5, 9. So these things actually have a chemical reaction with your hair. Basically, it's basically a chemical reaction with your hair, where it's you can think of throwing baking soda into some vinegar. It's like your hair is vinegar. No, vinegar is acid. Wait a minute. So your hair is ammonia. No, I'm sorry. Your hair is... Which one is acidic? Vinegar. Yeah, your hair is vinegar. And... No, your hair is vinegar. Yeah, your hair is vinegar, and the relaxer is like ammonia. So ammonia is a base, vinegar is an acid. So that's what's going on with that. So so whatever reaction, when you have a reaction like that, you get CO2 and water and all kind of stuff. Well, no, you won't get CO2. You'll definitely get some water because there's hydrogen. Let's see, what's in vinegar? I don't know. Vinegar has carbon in it. Yeah, you're gonna get CO2 and water. Oh. So now a product like mine, which is relatively neutral. I mean, it's all, for the most part, the water content is very minimal. Oils, like I said before, even though oils are referred to as fatty acids, they don't perform as acids. They have no reaction when it comes to a base or acid. They don't have a pH. So the pH is basically neutral or zero. I'm sorry, 7. 7 is neutral on the pH scale. So it's around, it's a little lower than 7, but it's closer to the pH of the human scalp, which is around 5 pH. So when we talk about a product that's a chemical, most people, when they think about a chemical, they think of something that's handled by a chemist or a scientist. They think of something that's unworldly, unnatural, and that's the connotation that most people understand it to mean. But everything is a chemical. So some chemicals have been with us for generations and for the total existence of human presence on the earth, like dandelions and almonds and coconuts and all these things. I mean, I don't know if people have been eating coconuts because I don't know. I mean, the majority of the world wasn't living in an area where coconut trees existed anyway. But we've evolved to consume some of these things and use them in our daily life and use certain extracts and lavender and rosemary and as spices, and we use peppermint and candy and all kind of stuff like that, and manufacturing processes. But these plants have evolved alongside humans, so they're a little more, they're a little less likely to have adverse reactions compared to some of these cosmetic ingredients that men have synthesized, that humanity has synthesized. So that's why it's so appealing to create a quote unquote plant-based product, because you have the added comfort of knowing that this product and this ingredients are from a more direct source from the plant or from the earth. Sulfur is one of the most abundant minerals on the planet, and it's integral to our existence. I mean, a chicken embryo is full of sulfur. That's why it's so yellow. There's so many reasons to go with plant-based products. Now, you're not going to be able to straighten your hair, straighten a type 4 hair texture with a plant-based product. You're probably not. You're probably not going to be able to do that. But maybe it's best for your health not to have something that reacts so that's so volatile, or something that reacts so harshly to your body. I mean, in a process when you're processing your hair and you're relaxing your hair, you apply the base and then you have to neutralize it. You apply the relaxer, which, like I said, is alkaline, a base, and then you have to neutralize it before it totally dissolves or breaks down your hair follicles. So it's something that is relatively harsh. I mean, imagine melting hair. That's pretty harsh. They have to apply Vaseline to the other areas of your scalp where you're not seeking to apply the uh, the relaxer. I mean, I've done it once. It was always my. It was always my. I always was interested in getting my hair straightened. I used to watch Little Richard and James Brown and all these guys. And I just found it cool to see what they did, and they kind of they straightened their hair and styled it and all kind of stuff like that. But I did it for maybe a few weeks. No, not even, maybe 2 weeks, because as soon as my hair got wet, my hair follicles got wet again. My hair just started to curl again. So it kind of wore out, and I didn't like not being able to wash my hair all the time. So I didn't really maintain it. I kept it in for maybe a day or two, really, and then after that I cut the whole thing off. I kept it in for maybe a week, and then I cut the whole thing off. But that was an interesting experience to do that. I don't know if I'll ever do it again. I don't know if I'll ever do it again. But when you have textured hair, when you have type 4 hair, and you practice relaxing it, it's something that you have to do either monthly or twice a month or something to that effect. Like every month you basically got to do it to keep your hair roots. When the roots grow in, you have to reapply. So it's like I said, it's linked to cystic fibrosis, which are growths in the uterus. So imagine that something that you're applying on your head, on a woman's head, is causing them to experience growths in their uterus. That's dangerous, and it's better to live according, in my opinion, to the earth and to things that come from the earth that we've been living with, growing with, and evolving with. I think it's the best thing, and it's the safest thing for our health. But we put our confidence in many companies, and based on their brand or their longevity or their reputation, we think that nothing will happen to us. It'll be safe, and we'll be fine. But in some instances, that's not the case, and we're just learning this now, 2012. I mean, I think black people have been relaxing their hair, I don't know, probably for the past 100 years, for the past 100 years. So 100 years of not knowing why you have fibroids, why people are getting sick, why people are having reproductive issues. It's difficult to fathom the generations that have suffered from that. So we have to be more, hopefully, vigilant regarding our health. It's everything, and it's all we have. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Thanks for listening.